like getting back on track after defeating Western New Mexico 9-4 to close out that series?
Well, we dropped game one, which was very disappointing. First time we've ever lost to Western New Mexico, so obviously it's not the way that you want to start the weekend. And but I got to give them a lot of credit. They did not play like a team that has had the kind of season that they've had. They went out and we've gone back and watched video, and Genesis was pitching, and they just hit some good pitches. She was hitting her spots for the most part. They just put the barrel to it and made some things happen. But it was disappointing to score 2 runs off of a team who's been struggling to get people out. So that was a disappointing loss, but I think we learned some lessons from it. It's sad that we're still having to learn lessons at March 31st, but I guess it's better late than never. And we really played well the next 2 games. Went out and swung the bats. We played with energy. We played together, and we played like a team. And just the energy in the dugout was a lot different. The energy on the field was different. And like I said, better late than never. But those are things that you wish would have happened and taken place earlier. But maybe it'll be a blessing in disguise, and we can get on a hot streak here to end the season.
Oh, you good.
So, in your last 8 road games, you guys are 3-5. Outside of obviously, winning games, is there anything specifically that you'd like to focus on to kind of turn the tide?
Well, that's a good question. We're probably getting to locations sooner than we ever have. We're practicing on the facilities, which that's a recent thing in Lone Star Conference softball. It used to be you just showed up and played. We now get a practice slot on the day before, so it's a long trip to Western, but the bus trip was good. We didn't have any issues there. We got there about 6 o'clock their time, had a good little practice, had a good meal, plenty of rest. I mean, there's just no excuse to go out and play the way that we're playing on the road, but it's always game one that seems to be the failure, and that's just something that I talk to them. It's got to come from within. I can tell you, and I can want, and all that stuff. It's got to come from within, and I think some things clicked this weekend, and just like I said, the energy in game 2 and 3 was phenomenal. Just really went out and played as a unit, and that's something that it wasn't this group, that group. It wasn't I'm not getting to play, because we're giving a lot of people opportunities. We've had some injuries, and a lot of kids are getting opportunities, and so you kind of get into that. Well, who's going to play? Who's not going to play? And I'm not getting to play, and some of those things that you want to try to prevent. But and it's natural, to be disappointed if you're not getting to play when you had some opportunities, and it's just where we are as a team. Hopefully, we'll have Malaya Burns back this week. We'll see. And that'll help get a veteran back that has had a good season, but the injury, we've had her out for the past 3 weeks, so hopefully we can get her back in the lineup. And then got a good St. Ed's team moving forward, or coming in this weekend, and got a good test ahead of us.
Staying with that St. Ed's team, this is a team that you've had a great amount of success with over the course of the years. How do you continue that, especially against a hungry team right now that's hungry for wins?
Well, I think that what's happened in the past is in the past. I mean, it's all about moving forward, and it's this team. It's not 2007. It's not 2004. It's 2023, and we can't take anybody for granted. That's for sure. And St. Ed's is having a really good year, one of the better years they've had in the last few years, and they're pitching the ball really well, and they're just going to scrap and compete. They don't hit a ton of home runs. They will run. They'll steal some bases, but luckily we got Keely Garcia back there behind the plate that can hopefully stifle some of that. And they're going to play. They're going to play solid defense. They're going to pitch the ball well. Their big lefty is having a really good year, and it's an experienced pitching staff. So 2 similar teams. I think we hit the ball with more power than they do, but both of us like to run, and both of us have experienced pitching staffs and things of that nature. Hopefully being at home will help, because it is getting that time of year. We're into April, and this travel schedule has been pretty tough. So I think you can look at Lone Star Conference schedules, and whoever's at home seems to be having an advantage, and hopefully that'll work out for us. Even though it didn't last week, hopefully it will this week.
I was going to ask too. I know you said in the first answer that I wish we didn't have to learn lessons on March 31st. We are 41 games throughout the season. Your team has shown an ability to bounce back. I remember first talking to you, y'all were 8-9 on the year. Are you at least encouraged with the development that you've seen from your team?
Yes and no. At times it just hasn't been consistent, and that's the frustrating part. Is we take steps forward and then we do something that just shouldn't be happening, and then we recover from it and we start moving back, and you think, okay, maybe they've got it, and then we take some steps backwards. So it's all up here. I mean, it really is, and we just got some people that have had great years. Ashlyn Lerma, Paxton, Bailey Martinez is having a great year. Ashton McMillan's having a great year, and then we've had some that are struggled a little bit. And Lindsay Evans had a great weekend this past weekend. She hit 3 home runs, I think. She got robbed of one. A right fielder made a great catch over the fence that robbed her of a 3 home run game in game 2. And she hits some balls really hard, and we've really been working with her and her mentality and her approach, and you could just see that she's more comfortable right now in the batter's box than she was there for a little bit of a streak, and she's just a dynamic player. So if we can get her, keep her on track and have her hitting the balls hard the way she did this past weekend, that's going to be huge for us. It's one of those things that teams are a growing process sometimes, and you never can get real comfortable. And you're playing a lot of games, so there's a lot of opportunities to get exposed, and people are getting exposed at times, but like I said, yes, better to learn lessons March 31st and just continue to have them happen, and hopefully we get hot, here at the end of the year, come playoff time, and this conference isn't an easy conference. You better be ready to get after it every day, or you're going to be in trouble. And I think we're setting at 23-17, which isn't exactly what we're used to, but hey, we're 23-17. We're not 17-23, and we've got great opportunities to jump some teams in the conference standings. We got an opportunity to end up 4th or 5th if we can go play well, but at the same time we could end up 10th or 11th. So we'll just have to go see.
I'm good. Thanks.